I don't really keep boxes, but
Do you throw them away?
well, I do recycle some.
Why don't you keep them?
There are many reasons. It actually depends
Where
though.
do you keep them?
I do keep some of them in.
Will you throw them after a while?
Yeah, sometimes I do if.
Which one do you keep?
Hey, how's it going everyone? I'm DCSG81 and welcome back for another special video. This is one of the most asked questions from all of you guys about what do I do with the boxes after I unbox them. Well, most of you guys actually knows that I don't really keep the boxes except for a few exceptions. But before I go deeper into the topic, I would like to hear from you guys whether do you really keep the boxes or you just discard them. Do let me know down in the comment sections below. Now do allow me to share some of my thoughts about the pros and cons when you do decided to keep the boxes. Now the very first sign that you are keeping the boxes is because you are a mint collector, which means that you don't really open them up, you just like to display them in their actual boxes. Now the second good things about keeping the boxes is I have seen some collectors who actually likes to display their figures with their boxes together. And the third reason I think is mostly applies to Mainfax, because if you guys do notice, some of the Mainfax boxes, they do provide some kind of backdrops in their inner box. So some collectors do like to keep that portion of the box and use it as a backdrop. This next one is quite special because I have also seen some of the collectors actually uses the box to build it up something like a diorama for the action figures to be displayed with. This next one may sound weird, but I've seen some collectors who actually use the box to stack it up and then they put the action figures on it so it will be displayed in a more proper manner. This next one, I believe it applies to all of us because we do keep some of the figures back into the box because we might run out of display space, or sometimes maybe it's too valuable, you just don't feel like damaging it, you just like to keep it back to the box for safekeeping. And this last one is actually what I have been doing. I do keep some of the boxes in case I want to sell them later, which means that by keeping the box, I believe most of you guys knows that you can actually sell with much higher price as compared to when you're just selling the figure without the box. So in other words, the box do provide values to the figure, especially when you are selling them.
Day 2.
And the first obvious reason about the bad things on keeping the boxes is, of course, consuming all the spaces that we have in our house. Because as you guys know, these boxes is not small at all. The second bad things about keeping the boxes, I believe this one only applies those of us who have spouse or even girlfriends. Yes, this might agitate them because it will start taking up lots of space. And this next bad thing is also applying to the first and the second reason, which means that by keeping the boxes, you're actually taking much space and making your partner even more angry, and in return, it makes it harder to hide your buying habit from them.
Much later.
In the arms of the angel.
And the last one, I believe it happens to all of us because by keeping all the stack of boxes, it actually invites a lot of unwanted pests. As for myself, I don't really keep the boxes at all, except for two exceptions. The first one is I do keep the boxes for the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball lines because somehow it has become a habit. I do keep them from the very first figure that I bought until today. So yes, I do have about 50 to 60 boxes of the Dragon Ball, which I have not thrown even a single one of them. And the second reason is I do keep some of the boxes of the action figures that I do intend to sell later in the future. So I'll just keep the boxes just in case if I want to sell with a better value. And for those boxes that I do not intend to keep, of course, I don't just throw them to the garbage bin. I do put them all nicely together into the recycle bin so they can be recycled. So I do hope that you guys are doing the same, not just by discarding the box everywhere else and creating more rubbish. Yeah, do recycle them, please. So I hope this video does give you some insight or some useful information on whether you should keep the boxes or not. And I'll catch you guys again in my next video. And I hope that you will check out this video right over here.